Open Instagram. Go ahead. I'll wait. Okay, you don't really need to open it, because you've probably already opened it about 4 times since you started watching this video, and you didn't even realize it. It's automatic. It's a reflex. It's as natural as breathing. Except breathing doesn't leave you feeling like a mediocre person on a Sunday afternoon. Here's a scene that happens every day in the United States. A guy wakes up. It's 8 in the morning. He's still in bed, hair messy, dark, circles under his eyes, that pillow smell that only you know. He picks up his cell phone, not because he needs to check something important, not because he has an urgent message. He picks up his cell phone because the cell phone is there, and habit dictates. He opens Instagram, and in 30 seconds, not an hour, not half an hour, 30 seconds, he's already seeing a 26-year-old guy in a villa in Santorini, drinking coffee overlooking the Mediterranean, with the body of someone who's never eaten a French fry in his life. And our friend? He's lying in bed with sheets that need changing, wondering if it's worth getting up to make coffee, or if the effort isn't worth it. And he closes the app, and reopens it, and closes it, and reopens it. Because the human brain is basically a functional addict with philosophical pretensions. This is not weakness. This is not a lack of discipline. This is exactly what was planned. Instagram isn't a social network. It's an emotional comparison machine with a Valencia filter. And it works because it exploits something that's been ingrained in your biology since before you existed as a concept. Your brain was programmed to compare, not by evolutionary whim, not by accident, for survival. 100,000 years ago, comparing your social standing to the person next to you was the difference between eating and not eating, between belonging to the group or being expelled, and becoming dinner for whatever roamed the eep-vibe savannah. Comparison was information. Comparison was power. Comparison was life. Today, comparison is the reason why you look at your perfectly functional kitchen and feel it's inadequate, because you saw a remodel on the feed of someone you've never met and never will meet. The problem isn't that you're comparing. The problem is what you're comparing it to. Before social media, you compared yourself to your neighbor, your coworker, your cousin, who always showed up at Thanksgiving dinner with a new wife and a new job. That was bad enough. But at least they were real people, with real lives, with real problems that you could sometimes see up close. Now you compare yourself to the most edited, most illuminated, most filtered, most strategically presented version of millions of people at the same time. You're not seeing anyone's life. You're seeing the personal marketing portfolio of every human being who has had access to a smartphone and learned the right angle for a photo. Nobody posts about the day they stayed in their pajamas until 3 in the afternoon watching something embarrassing on television. Nobody posts about the ugly argument with their partner in the kitchen. Nobody posts about the credit card bill that arrived with a number that looks like a typo. Instagram is a museum of the best moment, and you enter this museum every day. Look at the masterpiece and leave thinking that your ordinary life is an artistic failure. And while you do that, the algorithm observes. The algorithm learns. The algorithm figures out exactly what kind of content makes you stop scrolling, what kind of image holds your eye for 2 more seconds, what kind of life seems unattainable enough to keep you engaged, but close enough not to seem like science fiction. And it serves you more of it, and more, and more. Not because it cares about, because your attention is worth money. And the more inadequate you feel, the more time you spend inside the app trying to figure out what you're doing wrong, what you need to buy, what you need to change, who you need to become. You're not using Instagram. You're being used by it. And the difference between those 2 sentences is the difference between driving a car and being the fuel. Here are the signs. You open the app for no conscious reason. You leave feeling like something is missing from your life, but you can't quite name what. You start seeing your own photos as inadequate. You spend more time looking at other people's lives than paying attention to your own. You feel a low, constant anxiety that has no clear cause, but which strangely coincides with your sessions on the app. If any of these sentences sounded familiar, congratulations. You are a normal human being who has fallen into a trap built by some of Silicon Valley's brightest minds with unlimited budgets and no particular remorse. And the impact isn't abstract. It's not theoretical. Researchers at the University of Pennsylvania conducted a study with university students and found that limiting social media use to 30 minutes a day significantly reduced levels of loneliness and depression. 30 minutes, not 0, 30. The problem isn't that Instagram exists. The problem is the dose, the frequency, and, above all, the unconsciousness with which you use it. Because when you use Instagram consciously, you choose what to see, you choose how long to stay, you know why you're there. It's a tool. When you use it on autopilot, opening, scrolling, closing, reopening like a rat in a lab experiment, it uses you. And the difference between the two lies in a place the app doesn't want you to visit: your own head. There's another layer that most people completely ignore. Instagram doesn't just show you what others have, it shows you what you aren't yet. And it does so with surgical precision that no door-to-door salesman ever achieved. Because the salesman knocks on your door once, the algorithm knocks on your door 300 times a day, always with a new offer, always with different social proof, always with a smiling face from a place you haven't yet visited, wearing clothes you haven't yet bought, living a life you haven't yet achieved. And each of these knocks leaves a small mark, invisible, accumulated, until you look in the mirror on a Tuesday night and no longer recognize what you see, not because you've changed, but because the comparison standard has become too large for any real life to fit within it. The inconvenient truth is this: the problem isn't your life. Your life probably has genuinely good things that you've stopped noticing because you're too busy comparing it to a highlight reel of 10,000 strangers. The problem is the standard you're using to measure your existence, and that standard was created by a company that profits when you feel inadequate. The social comparison bias isn't going anywhere. It's ingrained in you. But the next time you open Instagram, and you will, I'm not going to pretend a YouTube video is going to change a neurological habit. Maybe it's worth asking, am I here because I want to be? Or am I here because reflexes brought me here? Am I consuming this? Or is it consuming me? You think you're using Instagram, but maybe it's using you.